So my first overall impression of the materials from this module were I didn't know anything about what a flipped classroom meant or what it was. So reading the articles really helped me understand what it actually means to flip a classroom. I really liked the Edutopia article about all the pros and cons within flipping classroom. But I think my favorite piece from this module was definitely that YouTube video of the teacher explaining why she decided to flip her classroom and how she was explaining that 90% of the time of her classroom time was spent up in front of the class lecturing her students, and that she had a group of students who were on board, kind of the middle learners that were on board and engaged during the lecture. But she also had a group of students that were at a higher level. And the group of students that were at a higher level would just kind of sit there bored and kind of ready to move on to the next thing because they already knew and understood that content pretty well. And then she had another group of kind of lower level students who didn't quite understand the content, maybe needed some more time to learn it, and that kind of sat there confused and just weren't really understanding anything. So I really liked her video and explaining why she decided to flip her classroom so she can meet all that differentiation within her students. She can go and teach in the middle now and reach out to the higher level group of students who are ready to move on, and she can challenge those students more, where she can go to the lower level students and help them and make sure that they're really understanding that content thoroughly. So let's see, some of the reasons from supporting the flipped content was I really like the fact that it helps students who were absent stay current. So this means that there's no really excuse for them not to do the work or not to listen to the video lectures. They have that there for them. So if they're sick, they can lay in bed and watch the lectures and not miss any lectures or not do any makeup work. This would be really nice for teachers because makeup work just seems like such a hassle almost to teachers. Another thing that I really liked for supporting this was that students get to work at their own pace. So when I was in high school, I felt like a lot of the time I needed a little bit more time with lectures because when I was being lectured at, I would just sit there with my notebook and just try and write as much as I could. And I wasn't really engaged and fully listening. I had one ear open as I was trying to write as much as I could. And with that too is when you're taking notes like that, it's really easy to miss some stuff. So having that video there to go back and reference to is really helpful for students as well. I really like the fact that it's a good resource for parents as well. So instead of having their child try and explain what the lesson was about to the parent, they can actually get all of that content straight from the teacher themselves, so they know how to do it the correct way and the right way to help their child with whatever they need help with. So some reasons for critiquing this flipped classroom is that it actually might be more work for the teacher because she has to sit and prepare all of these videos and lectures. But I think I would actually prefer this instead of having to lecture every day, multiple times a day for 90% of the class time. Let's see here. Another negative would be trusting your students and making sure that they are actually watching these videos beforehand, because if they don't, then that's kind of a waste of class time. They need to come prepared to class and know the content in order to fully be engaged within the class for that period. Another negative to me is I feel like when teachers are lecturing, in front of a class, they can kind of get that feedback from the students' faces. So if something's kind of confusing to them, they can kind of see it on their face. If something's easy or boring, they can also see it on their face as well. Having students learn this content through a video online, teachers aren't able to get that reaction from their students about what's confusing and what's not. Another negative would be the digital divide and making sure that every student has a laptop or tablet and that internet connection at home so that they can be fully prepared in the classroom. Some technology tools that definitely would need to be integrated into my classroom if I was going to do this flipped classroom would be making sure that a laptop or tablet is provided by the school district for my students. Hopefully I would be teaching at a school that would be providing these technology tools for my students so that every student would have the equal educational tools such as a laptop or tablet, instead of having to kind of have them go fend for themselves and find those resources which may not be available to them.